Hello you. This is, well, as you can plainly see, it's the last V8 by David Darling and produced by Mastertronic, which I didn't have at the time, but fortunately SD2IAC, I can load it up now. I'm very aware that last V8 had an absolutely corking soundtrack, and I will try to remember to include a link in the description to Mind in a Box, their cover version of it. Their album Retro is really, really good, if you like that sort of thing, which I do. We've got a very black screen here, but we've still got a green light on the drive, so we must be loading. Yeah, I was very much aware that last V8 had a brilliant soundtrack, but had very poor reviews at the time. So that, and the fact that I wasn't a fan of the pop art style covers that Mastertronic did for this, and was it Spellbound and some others. Just didn't appeal to me at the time as a teen. That, and the fact that the title logo where it said last V8 had a V2 rocket. So it had a classic car on the front, it had a V2 rocket. I thought it was some kind of wartime thing, yeah, World War II, and just went, meh, not bothered. It had old style, 60s pop art, and a World War II rocket, and a 60s car. It just seemed very confusing to a rather dumb teenager, and just went, no, moving on. So I just ignored it completely, and then when I read reviews, but actually I don't remember reading reviews of it. I don't remember what they said. But I do remember it regularly appearing in Zap's music chart when they did the charts of top 10 games, top 10 games. People would write in, and last V8 regularly appeared. But I knew that somehow it wasn't a great game, and the cover didn't appeal to me, so I never bothered with it. But it apparently has an enhanced 128K mode. And there aren't too many games like that. So I figured, well, now's the ideal time to have a look at it, isn't it? I say have a look at it. We appear to be looking at a plain blank screen. I mean, at least we've got the other pretty lights to look at, eh? You have the pretty lights and you have my dulcet tones. We have, if you can see, a green light on the SD2IC. Look how dinky it is, you see. It is tiny. But it looks just like a disk drive. A disk drive which is about, well, ludicrous times larger. It's like they're literally the size of a pretty big shoebox, really. A shoebox filled with bricks. And I have a few more of them on the top of the shelf at the moment. I remember a time when I only had one floppy disk drive for my 64, and that was my Enhancer 2000. Now I also have a 1541. I've got a 1541-2, I've got a spare 1541, and I've got a 1581. It's just, some might say I have a bit of a problem, but it's good to have spares, isn't it? Yeah. It's good to not have room. What are rooms for if not for storing things in? And what are shelves for if not for putting things on? That's why the bookshelves downstairs are absolutely groaning and stuff, and that's why I've recently had to reorganise everything on these shelves in order to fit all these systems that I've got on them. Fortunately, my Tetris packing skills have come to the fore and done me pretty good. I've had to shift a few bits and pieces around, but I might even be able to fit a few more systems on here. Should I see any for a sensible price that I've always wanted? Because I'm not going to go and I'm not spending silly money on stuff just for the sake of it. But if I see something, then I know I have room. I would still like to get an Amiga 1200 at some point. Commodore PET I'd struggle to find room for, but damn it, if there was one going, I would find the room for it. This is taking an awful long time. One of the problems with the 128, you see, is you plug a cartridge into it, and it drops to 64K mode. Excuse me. Chin chin. Yeah, so you stick a cartridge in and it goes, alright, 64K mode it is then, you want backwards compatibility, that's that. Fortunately, Alleycat goes you're in 64K mode, but I know you've got a 2 megahertz processor, and I will use that. For this is a 128 version of the game, I believe, so it needs to be loaded in 128K mode, which means I can't have any fast load cartridges in, which means we could be in for a bit of a wait. Or I maybe should have pressed space ages ago. I don't know, but I've got a green light on the disk drive, so I'm assuming it's still reading from it. So I'll press space anyway. Let's press fire on whatever joystick it is. No, we've still not got anything here. I've got no idea whether I should be quitting and restarting or continuing to ramble at this point. So this is a tricky one, isn't it? This is what comes of not loading up stuff beforehand to check things work correctly, isn't it? But hey, even lots of the big YouTubers do that. Admittedly, they do it while doing live streams, but I really don't fancy doing live streams. I would much rather just sit here and natter to you and not have to actually interact as well. I'll interact in the I say I'll interact in the comments. I know I'm very bad when it comes to replying to comments. I do appreciate everyone's comments when they do leave them. But the way my head is, I'll sometimes see a notification and go, oh, I need to check that, and then forget about it for days. Whereas, hit me up on Twitter and you'll generally get a response, well, unless I'm asleep, you'll generally get a response pretty quickly. Obviously, yeah, comments on YouTube means you get more interaction, which means your video is more likely to get pimped out. I don't play that game. So yeah, comments are appreciated, even if I am rather slack when it comes to getting around to replying. And generally it'll be like a month or two later I'll go, oh my god, I've got all these comments, and I'll sit down for an evening and just go through them. I say an evening, I don't get that many comments. Oh, come on. Are you doing anything? I mean, some kind of loaded screen would be good, wouldn't it? I mean, I don't want to do a load fail. I haven't done a load fail for ages. I don't want to do a load fail as my second Commodore 128 video. Oh. You know what? I think I'll pause the video at this point, and when I manage to get it loaded up, we'll continue from there. Because that's probably a more sensible way of doing it. Though you are getting the full experience here. This all warts and all and everything. So yeah, give me a minute. I'll pause it, and I'll save you waiting for much longer. Not sure what happened earlier, but this looks more promising, doesn't it? I don't know whether it's going to go any further than this. But it's a bit further than we got last time, isn't it? Still no music. With no music on the loading, or do I press space or fire? Nope, nothing as yet. But okay, let's examine that. We appear to be in some kind of underground base with a very weird perspective going on. After the war, things altered people's perceptions, didn't it? It made people's faces go half black, and cars suddenly become rather, well, shall we say toy-like? And there are giant skeletons reaching it. Well, actually, not entirely. Well, they're entirely across one lane of the street there. It appears to be a one-way street there that you can only come out of going by the road marking. We appear to be somewhere where the doors are straight out onto the main street with a very, very small pavement outside. I mean, blimey, even the pavements in Stoke-on-Trent are wider than that. It looks like if you step out there, you're practically into the road, so careful there. Maybe that's what happened to that giant. Stepped out the house, tripped over, and someone hit him at the junction. Underneath, we've got that base there with a couple of scientists with swivel chairs, but no wheels on those swivel chairs. So they're going to have difficulty getting their knees out from underneath those desks, aren't they? It's 11:59. It's 1 minute to midnight, or 1 minute to lunchtime. Maybe it's almost lunch, and one on the right's going, I'm just nipping out the shops. Do you want anything? Yeah, Lion Bar, crunchy, tin of ham. Still, well done, Jim Wilson. You programmed a you did a screen there that I couldn't do then, and probably can't do now, so I shouldn't be taking the piss really, but for a professional, I say for a professional thing, this was $1.99, so maybe it was $2.99, it was a couple of quid anyway, thereabouts. So, so getting any kind of loading screen was quite nice, I suppose. We better not have crashed again. Are we going to do anything this time? Oh, come on. I think it might have crashed again. This is... Oh, no it hasn't. Right. Go at once. Okay, well that's some speech. And that was a bit of the music starting, and we've... Okay, so drive through the scenery, pick up the blobs that are on the scenery. Right. Oh, okay. Try not to hit things, including what looks like... That looks like everything in the scenery hurts you. Right, those switches to something. I'm guessing you want to pick up those. They look like the That's a pretty good speech, isn't it? It looks like and it looks like someone's lifted a whole load of the tops off Lollipop Ladies sticks, if you know what I mean. Oh, right, okay, and then you've got to drive around. It's nice it's showing me the game. It means I don't have to play it, do I? I can listen to the music. Yeah, Ooh, okay. Keep an eye on your instruments and avoid the radiation. Oh. Yeah, the Mind in a Box remix is really good. And the Mind in the Box remix, that's got speech as well. That's really impressive nowadays, isn't it? Well, let's... Bass, 1 column. Okay, well, let's... Oh, they died. That's not good, is it? Yes, it's definitely V8 as in a V8 engine. I just think that's... The actual gameplay area there is a third of the screen, and then another third of the screen is... Well, actually, it might be more than a third of the screen is your status thing, which is slap bang in the centre, and then underneath you've got a banner advertising that the game that you're playing and who wrote it. It's... Carry out your orders, go at once. Well, let's press fire and... Yeah, okay. Oh, I better zoom in, hadn't I? Duh. Now we're finally in here. You might actually want to see the game, especially seeing as it was a third of the screen and you zoomed out. See what I mean? It's tiny. Okay. Right. Okay. Oh, right. Up and down. Moves me up and down the screen. Oh, okay. Left and right. Oh, okay. These controls are odd. Okay. I probably should be going faster than that, shouldn't I? Right, I got a Lollipop Lady stick. Now, can I go up and... Oh, that's... Ooh, why is he going to... Whoa, you... That's... You go... I need to be going left more rather than up and down, so you push left and it goes, oh, you want to go faster, and accelerates you towards the wall. And you go, no. So you pull away from the wall by pushing right, and it goes, oh, you want to turn? Oh, these controls are... broken? Okay. Let's go down. Whoa, not that fast. Ooh. This is kind of where they went in the demo, isn't it? Whoa, no. Yeah, I can kind of see why this might not have had the best of reviews. you know, I guess they spent all their time on presentation and speech and look. But you've got a tiny playing area. And some of the maddest controls by the looks of things. And the slightest thing kills you, it would seem. Let's go up here instead. No! Oh. I mean, so this is the last V8 that they've... And everyone's forgotten how to drive? Like, how to use brakes? That's just stupid. I'm sorry. I wonder if has anyone done a remake of this with working controls? I mean, it's making me think of Fifth Gear by Racket, because that looked quite nice and had good music, I think. You know, I've died several times ago now. Let's try going up instead. But you only had half or a third of the screen, and you're generally going up the screen like that. Oh, how am I gonna? No. No, slow down. This is ridiculous. Oh, I was pushing right. Oh, for heaven's sake. I want to hear the decent music though, rather than that. That's decent sampling. That's not just carry out. Or that's not speech synthesis. That's some pretty good sampling there, crammed into. Well, saying that, I've never played the C64 version, so I don't know if the C64 version's sampling was. Right. Who thought this was a good control method? Well, I suppose David Darling did. Oh, you... No, what? No. Oh my God almighty. How does it flip on the spot like that? Okay. We have 2 fuel rods. I've no idea how many I'm supposed to get. What sort of time limit? Oh God, there's another one. Oh no 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 no! Bloody hell! Like I'm going to be able to get that one. Oh, cock! Like I could get that one down there without slamming into the wall. No, this is a stupid game, and I refuse to have any more part in it. I could see why people just went. And I'm glad I was put off it by the cover and the... I mean, put it in V8 and then drawing a V2 rocket on it. It was just like... was that supposed to be... Oh, well, after the war... This is a post-apocalyptic wasteland. What, were they... From them firing off... Enemy firing off V2 rockets? No. No, this is just... Everything about this, bar the music, bar the audio, shall we say, is just nope. It's got really good quality sampled speech. It's got a cracking Rob Hubbard soundtrack, but unfortunately the rest of the game gets in the way of you wanting to enjoy hear that and enjoy it. So yeah. I mean, avoiding stuff like... Oh, that was the switch for that, was it? Oh, you know what? I managed to get there before. Let's try that once more. I might not be able... There's 3 blooming fuel rods there in a row. Maybe I could just get those 3. I'll give it one more go to do that. Get on with it. Why are you showing that bit then? Right. You know what, I'm going to go this way instead, let's just see. Damn you! Right. I have 3 fuel rods. Still telling me to get fuel rods. No! No! Oh, you bumped into some Viennese butter biscuits. Or are they bales of hay? I mean, God, what are they? They're yellow swirly things. I crashed into a yellow swirly thing. No, I can't be bothered. Life's too short, you know. I'd recommend downloading the SID version of the tune and listening to that, or going out and getting Retro by Mind in a Box, because it's a cracking album, and listening to their version of this, because it's really good. But that said, I mean, if I'd spent $1.99 on this at the time, I probably would have spent some time on it, because I would have been amazed by the speech, and I'd spent money on it, and I would have wanted to get my money's worth out of it, so I would have wanted to at least hear the music and the speech, but it's not much fun to play. So yeah, hopefully it's a bit more fun to watch. But yeah. So there's another cracking reason to go out and get yourself a Commodore 128. I'm guessing there's more speech on this version. I dread to think if the C64 version plays worse than this or looks worse than this. I'm sure some of those bricks and the scenery there are the same. Those white blobs look very, very familiar, like I saw them an awful lot in BMX races. Darling Brothers reusing some of their scenery assets, were they, from years previous? Anywho, let's leave it there. Because all we're going to do is hear a few different more samples, aren't we? And it's just going to loop round. And it's not... I mean, this does not look like this is going to be fun to try and navigate. Yeah. I'm definitely going to leave it there on that one. So that's the last V8 by David Darling, program published by Mastertronic before Codemasters formed, and amazingly released for a special version released for the Commodore 128. And God help you if you spent all that money on a 128 and then you had these games. Hey ho, last V8 on the Commodore 128. Hope you enjoyed watching. I'll catch you on the next one maybe. Ta-ta.